For every beloved Formula One driver, there is one who is truly hated. It's no surprise that Nikita Mazepin fits in the second category perfectly. Unlike the loved players on this list, I don't think there's a single person on Earth who would say they like Mazepin. Mazepin's on-track behavior has been questionable several times. At the Sakir GP, he got 2 5-second penalties for forcing Yuki Tsunoda off track and blocking Felipe Drugovich on the pit straight. Back in Sochi 2019, he got a 15th-place penalty for not being considerate of other drivers. In 2021, Mazepin slowed down many drivers after being passed, like Perez in Portimao and Hamilton in Istanbul. He almost crashed into his teammate Schumacher at over 320 km/h in Baku and Zandvoort. Plus, Mazepin was consistently a few tenths of a second slower than his teammate in qualifying and finished far behind in races. But it's Mazepin's off-track behavior that's caused most of the controversy. A video on his social media showed him behaving badly towards a woman, and he apologized publicly, but later deleted it. There were also accusations that he asked for nude photos in exchange for paddock passes, which is just wrong. Many people saw Mazepin leaving Haas and F1 after Russia invaded Ukraine as a relief. And when his replacement, Kevin Magnussen, scored points in his first race back, it showed how much Mazepin had been holding the team back. If you are loving this documentary, please subscribe, as it motivates me to make more. Now, back to the documentary. To offset Mazepin's poor behavior, we have Carlos Sainz, a driver who has genuinely won the fans' affection and the respect of his peers. Sainz tops the Formula One experts' ranking, showing he's in excellent form right now. From the start, he adapted better to the SF24 than his teammate Charles Leclerc, proving he's currently, or should be, the #1 driver for the Italian team. At the Bahrain Grand Prix, Sainz earned an 8.6 rating after overtaking Leclerc twice on the track and securing a podium finish to uphold his team's honor. In Melbourne, F1 had no choice but to give Sainz a perfect 10, as his weekend was flawless and he took the victory. Additionally, Max Verstappen yielded to Carlos, unable to finish the race due to a problem, resulting in a low score. Sainz's personality, work ethic, and driving ability made him one of the most respected and beloved drivers on the current grid. It would be really hard to find someone more loved than him, but it would be very easy to find someone more hated. Fernando Alonso perfectly fits the category of a disliked driver. He's been labeled as a narcissist and a bully by his teammates. Since leaving Renault, the team where he won 2 consecutive world championships, Alonso has become known as a troublemaker. He developed a habit of changing teams, and each time he switched, it often ended with strained relationships. His last days at Alpine were no different, as he frequently criticized the team publicly over the radio. Then he openly criticized his teammate Esteban Ocon, who also has a questionable reputation. Former F1 champion Damon Hill has criticized him for his destructive nature, saying, "Fernando's way is he used to destroy his nest when he moved from team to team, and he left groups of people rather destroyed." Alonso has been the villain in every chapter of F1's book over the last decade. His actions on and off the track symbolize his controversial image, whether criticizing his team's performance off the track or his infamous radio messages on it. The 2-time world champion acknowledged that there will be heroes and anti-heroes on an F1 grid, and he sees himself on the dark side. Unlike Alonso, there's Lando Norris, possibly one of the most beloved drivers in today's F1 scene. Whether he's goofing around with his teammates' kids or hiring a top chef to cook for McLaren's crew, Norris always manages to bring a smile. In his 3rd season at McLaren, Lando Norris brings more than just talent. His humor and active presence on social media are drawing in a ton of new fans to the sport. McLaren's boss, Zach Brown, even dubbed Lando Norris everyone's favorite driver after the Briton clinched his first Grand Prix win in Miami. His secrets? Well, Norris has won people over through Twitch, bringing a whole new audience to Formula One. Speaking on the BBC Sounds podcast, Press X to Continue, Lando explains why he thinks his Twitch channel is kickstarting a new generation of racing enthusiasts. "I think that's why I also stream a lot, because people get to just see me. I'm just a normal guy who streams and plays games every day. I'm not this magical kind of guy," Norris says. Returning to the negative side of F1, there's Esteban Ocon. From causing a crash with the race leader while being being lapped to colliding with his teammates more times than we can count, Ocon doesn't have the best reputation on the F1 grid. His on-track performances are often overshadowed by his reluctance to take responsibility for incidents. His relationship with Fernando Alonso at Alpine was particularly strained, with several on-track incidents hurting the team. In Jeddah 2022, Ocon aggressively defended against Alonso, nearly pushing Fernando into the wall. Despite losing a position to Alonso, Ocon cut the track twice in a bid to regain it, slowing down both Alpine cars and allowing Bottas and Alfa Romeo to catch up. In Hungary that same season, Ocon blocked his teammate at the start, ignoring Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes right behind him. This allowed Hamilton to overtake both Alpine cars before the first corner, despite Alonso's heroic defense against Hamilton a year earlier at the same track, helping Ocon score a victory. Ocon's attitude after these incidents only worsened situations. He often refuses to accept blame or apologize for his actions, causing tensions within the team and drawing criticism from fans and the media. In contrast to Ocon, there's Pierre Gasly, a driver who has faced highs and lows in his career, but has won fans' respect and affection for his resilience and positive attitude. Interestingly, he was also affected by Ocon's poor decisions back in 2009 during the Bridgestone Cup, but before that, they were actually friends. Anyway, Gasly started his F1 journey with high hopes, but his time at Red Bull Racing was tough and short-lived. Instead of giving up, Gasly returned to Toro Rosso, now AlphaTauri, and proved himself with exceptional performances, including a surprising victory at the 2020 Italian Grand Prix. Gasly's drive for excellence began early. Coming from France, he quickly made a mark in karting, showing his talent and determination. His impressive skills caught Red Bull Racing's attention, leading to his development as a junior driver and eventually entering Formula One. Since his debut in 2017, Gasly has continued to impress fans and experts alike with outstanding performances. With a mix of strategic thinking, lightning-fast reflexes, and incredible speed, he has cemented his place among the top drivers in the sport. Turning to one of the biggest names in F1 history, we find Michael Schumacher. Despite being widely considered one of the greatest drivers of all time, Schumacher wasn't immune to controversy and was actually quite disliked in some circles. Schumacher didn't win favor with the British media, not so much because of his personality, but due to his tactics on the track. His actions in Adelaide and Jerez illustrate this animosity. In Adelaide in 1994, he deliberately crashed into his championship rival Damon Hill in the final race, knowing he was ahead in points to win the World Championship. In Jerez in 1997, he tried to collide with Jacques Villeneuve for similar reasons, but he still lost the championship as Villeneuve managed to continue. In Monaco 2006, Schumacher secured first place, but then intentionally crashed his car into the barrier, disrupting everyone else's fast laps. He was penalized for this and sent to the back of the grid. There was also a controversy surrounding Ferrari international assistance, with incidents like his collision with Montoya in a Malaysian GP, where Montoya strangely received a drive-through penalty for something he clearly wasn't at fault for. Undoubtedly, Schumacher had exceptional talent, but he was also controversial and, at times, undeniably dirty. Against him, we have Sebastian Vettel, a driver who's not only admired for his skill on the track, but also loved for his personality off it and his dedication to important causes. Vettel has become one of the most influential voices in F1 on issues outside of the sport in recent years. Alongside Lewis Hamilton, he was actively involved in protesting against racism in 2020 after George Floyd's murder. In 2021, he also spoke out against Hungary's anti-LGBTQ+ referendum, calling it shameful, and wore a rainbow t-shirt on the grid in protest. He's been vocal about climate change, urging F1 to take more action to address global challenges. Vettel even appeared on the BBC political debate show Question Time, becoming the first active Formula One driver to do so. Vettel has also shown his caring side. For example, he helped open a new therapy room at Oasis Johanna Primary School in London to support children struggling with mental health issues. Vettel's transformation from an aggressive driver on the track to a respected ambassador of the sport off it has been remarkable and has earned him the love of fans around the world. Let's take a look at Lance Stroll now. The question, why is Lance Stroll so disliked, has a straightforward answer for many. His wealthy father bought the team so his son could have a seat. Indeed, the Canadian is more known for entering F1 due to his father's money, which bought the Racing Point team, now Aston Martin, rather than for his podium finishes. While he has shown some talent, especially in Formula 3, many believe he rushed into F1 without fully refining his skills. His arrival meant talented drivers like Esteban Ocon lost their seats. In his debut season with Williams in 2017, Stroll was outperformed by his teammate Felipe Massa, who was almost twice his age and supposed to be retired. Although he did manage a podium in Baku that year and a strong qualifying in wet conditions at Monza, his overall performances have been mixed. Off the track, Stroll is criticized for lacking charisma and personality. He's seen as a bland driver who gives robotic answers in interviews. Moreover, he's known for constantly complaining, blaming the car for his poor results instead of taking responsibility. On the flip side, there's Daniel Ricciardo, widely seen as one of the most loved drivers in the F1 lineup. Known as the Honey Badger, Ricciardo is admired by nearly everyone in the paddock, from fellow drivers to fans alike. Why? Well, his popularity largely stems from his friendly, upbeat, and charismatic personality. He's known for his constant smile and positive outlook, even during tough times in his career. This attitude has made him a media favorite, with appearances on late-night talk shows in the United States. But Ricciardo isn't just charm, he's respected for his track skills too, having outpaced four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel when they were teammates at Red Bull. Ricciardo's talent is such that Vettel doesn't begrudge losing to him. Instead, he considers Ricciardo one of the best drivers and regrets that McLaren hasn't fully tapped into his potential. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more.